One thing that's really important to think about when you're ordering wood flooring, or really flooring of any kind, is variation. So you can see here, this is an example of forest. We have 5 small samples of forest here. And if you were to receive either the far left or maybe the middle sample, you might think that forest was a very clean, very modern floor. But if you received the second from the left or the second from the right, you might think the opposite. But that's why context is so important here, and why we never recommend that you just look at a small sample and base your decision on your floor completely on that. So this is forest installed in one of our customers' homes, and you can see so much more of what's going on here. Overall, it's a very rustic floor. You can see lots of knots and cracks and a little bit of variation between the darker boards, some that have a little bit of that like highlight of sapwood on the side as well. You'll see that kind of peppered throughout the whole floor, where overall we're getting a very organic feeling. So sometimes if customers are having a hard time visualizing the variance in a floor, they might ask us about ordering one box to see what it looks like on a bigger scale. Now there's nothing wrong with that, but we don't necessarily recommend it, and this is an example of why. A lot of times our boxes are going to be cut from the same area on a tree. So you can see here, there are a few knots that are kind of repeating. Of course, they're not the same from board to board since it's a natural material, but they're same shape, same size. All of these are generally the same color and grain pattern because, again, they're from the same area of a tree. This is also why we recommend, whether you're installing it or you have an installer that you're working with, talking about mixing up the boxes. So you don't want to just open one box at a time and install them in a row. Basically, you want to have at least 3 boxes open at any given time and mix them up. Make sure that you don't have one patch, basically, of floorboards that are from the same tree and then another patch somewhere else. You want that all to blend in seamlessly so you get almost this sense of dimension like you do with hair. It's like highlights and lowlights throughout the floor that give a really organic and calming feeling overall. And here you can kind of see that. So this is actually my old home, and that's where those boxes were opened. But once we installed everything and we had it all blended, you don't even notice necessarily one lighter board, one darker board. You don't see one area that looks like it's all from the same tree. It's just all blended together, and the overall feeling is very organic, very natural, very calming. So of course, we always recommend that you start with a small sample. Once you've narrowed down your options, check out that large sample, and then really look through the product photos and find it in all different angles, colors, different homes to get a real sense of how that floor is going to look overall.